So we really wanted to give you the landscape here in Nogales. So we're up on a hill and the border fence is behind me, and you can see how close some of these homes are to the border. The side closest to us, houses in the United States, and just on the other side of the fence, of course, neighborhoods in Mexico. So people living in the area, they come across the border to work, eat, or shop. There are also people looking to come to our country to be with family or seek asylum. So let's show you what we saw here today. Border Patrol were dropping off migrants in downtown Nogales, and people in this group said they have court dates coming up and need to go anywhere from New York, Florida, or California. We also saw people crossing these openings in the wall just west of Nogales. Border Patrol agents said this area has to be open because it's a canyon wash. Well, we spoke with Santa Cruz County Board Supervisor Manny Ruiz today. He says they are preparing the best they can, but he feels Washington isn't doing enough to help them.
It's not an issue that came up, yesterday or 5 years ago. It's a continuous problem that takes the federal government to solve. We want to make sure that it doesn't become a crisis like they're seeing in El Paso and some of these cities where, you've got thousands of people on the street. It's not fair to the residents.
So Ruiz says he was born and raised here in Nogales, and he has never seen the streets flooded with migrants like in other areas this week. He says what we saw here today is pretty typical. And Ruiz said he's not really sure exactly how Title 42 is going to impact them starting tonight. He says at this point they are just hoping for the best, but really just preparing for the worst as best they can.
Yeah, so Michael, that supervisor wants more from the feds, but what are you hearing from other officials out there?
I think it's a pretty united front here. A lot of disdain towards the federal government right now. Yesterday in Phoenix, we heard from 3 sheriffs in Arizona who said they feel like the federal government's really failed them for decades at this point. They say their departments are really stretched thin because they have to do search and rescue operations for migrants who are traveling the desert and struggling to survive at times. Kyrsten Sinema, senator from Arizona, also saying this morning that the federal government really needs to have a better plan. Title 42, we knew it was going to end at some point. It seems at this point like the federal government didn't have a great response or a great way to help these local communities for this influx of migrants. Of course, this is ending in just a few hours. We'll have to see what happens here in Nogales.